Hi guys, welcome back to Pick 9. Trickster here, and let's see where the story takes us. Maybe I should apologize to Rui tomorrow. Yeah, we were kind of a dick, but we're trying to help her make friends, but we're still being a dick. Indulge myself in our friendship. Let everything go back to normal. Selfish of me again, but maybe this time I should be selfish. Whoa. What was that? Huh? Why is it so bright outside? What the? Why is it already 8:30? I leapt to my feet, scrambling to put on my clothes and tear out of the door. It's kind of a weird thing. I'm not even a good student. In fact, I'm pretty much every teacher's nightmare. Being in a rush to get to school isn't like me. Maybe it's because there's a difference between choosing to ditch and ditching by accident. One is your conscious decision, the other is not. Highly descriptive, I know. I'm told that my essays are a joy to read. By the time I'm already into the classroom, it's already 8:42 a.m. The teacher glances at me from her periphery, and surprisingly enough, he doesn't seem to try to humiliate me. In fact, he doesn't make a single comment, as if I wasn't late at all. Elizabeth, on the other hand, is wearing a prominent glare as I slip into my seat. She keeps her mouth shut, but her face radiates with disapproval. Yahiko nudges my foot and gestures frantically. Dude! His voice spits out in a hurried whisper. I lean over to hear what he has to say. What? Well, that's too late. You had to choose today? What? Was there a pop quiz? There was a pop quiz? I'll take that as a no. Dude, I'm talking about that cutie over there. You missed her intro earlier. Gestures vaguely to the back of the classroom. I sneak a peek, and I'm sure the teacher isn't looking. I find a girl sitting by the window, hand delicately turned against her slender fingers as she examines something in the distance. In ordinary circumstances, I might have thought her to be gorgeous. After all, she matches the ideal of traditional beauty to a T. Silky hair, porcelain skin, delicate lips, the whole 9 yards. But instead, I only found myself thinking, what the hell? Promptly followed by, who, what, when, where, why, how? Very intelligible, I know. But how else am I supposed to react to when an old friend, whom I haven't seen in ages, just randomly walks back into my life? Not only that, but as a transfer student to my school on the very last year I happened to go there. Her eyes snapped to mine, but before I could see her reaction, I quickly whipped back to the front of the classroom. Maybe I'm seeing things. Maybe it's not really her. There's no way it could be her. Right? I reluctantly tuned my hearing back to the teacher, who seems to be in a very enthusiastic rant about technology. Surprise, surprise. This generation is wasting away from being glued to dead pixels every waking moment. Well, today, I'm not having any of these newfangled contraptions. We're returning to trusty pen and paper. As the class steps to Gross, he scribbles 3 words on the board with his stylus. Your dream job. They just won't give us a break, will they? Furthermore, the teacher deactivates our tablets and is currently handing out sheets of lined paper. Handwriting? Really? As Yahiko passes the stack of paper to me, he leans closer. So, what do you think? I think I'm tired of writing about my non-existent future. Huh? I was talking about the new girl. Oh, right, the new girl. What's her name? Masaki Kazehana? Kazehaya, by any chance? How did you know? So it really is her. I never thought I'd see her again, much less in my own classroom. Oh, I know, you must have some sort of psychic ability. What? I mean, how else could you have known her name? Can you read her mind too? What does she think of me? How he came to that conclusion is beyond me. Nevertheless, this seems to be like an excellent opportunity to screw with him. It'd be a shame not to. I press my fingers to my temples, pretending to be in tune with Misaki's thoughts. Oh, Misaki, oh no. Ah, oh, I see. What? She has a huge crush on you. Really? But... Yahiko shakes his leg impatiently as I pause. Can you stop thinking for a second? I keep getting interference. Huh? Oh, sorry. He scrunches his face in concentration. Now you're thinking of not thinking. Whoa, you really can read minds. You doubt my abilities? No, I just... Shh, I'm getting something. Yahiko clamps his mouth shut. I rub my temples, mumbling under my breath. It seems she has a crush on you, but... She doesn't think you have the courage to talk to her. Yahiko puffs out his chest as if he were presented with a challenge. Ha! As if anything could deter the great Yahiko Ikari from approaching such a beauty. Yahiko, this is a writing prompt, not a discussion prompt. Focus on your own assignment. Right. Sorry, Teach. He immediately regains his composure and starts scribbling messily on his composition paper. That was oddly quick. I take a quick glance around. My classmates are hunched over their desk, some writing furiously, some staring awkwardly into space. The most avid one is Elizabeth, who's already on the second page, lips moving furtively as she blurs down her paper, as her arm blurs down her paper. I'm not surprised. She retains this naive belief that she can actually control her future. I can't wait for life to prove her wrong. Masaki, on the other hand, has completely thrown away any pretense of studiousness, choosing to text under her desk with one hand while simultaneously pretending to write with the other. That's pretty impressive, actually. I take a quick pinch on the arm to check my state of consciousness. Not dreaming, apparently. It's Misaki Kazahaya in the flesh. 5 minutes, write the assignment. What did the teacher say? Dream job, write 1 page? I stare at the prompt on the screen, as if it'll provide an answer. Meh, I don't want to deal with this. I deftly set my pencils to the paper and scribble my response. 1 page. As morning classes slug on, I feel a very prominent gaze burning into the back of my head. I refuse to turn around, trying to piece together my thoughts. Should I approach her, or not? When the bell rings, Yahiko immediately tugs on my sleeve, his face shining. Dude, I'm gonna talk to her. Who? The new girl, of course. She must be the shy princess type, waiting for a Prince Charming to sweep her off her feet. Who better than me to make her dream come true? I think you mean nightmare. Well, good luck with that. You're not coming? Why would I? Surely Yahiko Ikari wouldn't be suggesting that it needs help from me. To learn, of course. I worry for you, man. You may end up a spinster your whole life. You haven't snagged a single date in all the time I've known you. Well, neither have you, but I won't mention that. Or the fact that spinsters are exclusively female. So are you coming? I am, I guess. At the very least, this will be a chance for me to see what kind of person she's become. Yahiko swaggers over to the side of Masaki's desk, expertly raising a single eyebrow as he flips his hair out of his face. Why, hello there. I brace myself for a slap or a headlock in response. But Masaki only tilts her head quietly to the side, regarding him with a single arched eyebrow. Can I help you? This appears to fluster Yahiko for a moment. Thankfully, he's not the school's best Casanova for nothing, which honestly really tells you something about the quality of our Casanovas. Actually, yes, do you have a map? Because before you can even finish the sentence, Saki's fingers whip around her phone with the ease of long practice. In 3 seconds flat, she pulled out a campus map on her screen and shoved it into front of his face. Here, what I'm particularly looking for. Wait. Oh, are you also a transfer student? What? That certainly would make much more sense. I was just thinking, it's a little strange that a student would be asking me for directions since I just transferred here. But I should have realized. You must feel the instant connection of a fellow transfer student. When did you come here? Wait, this is a big misunderstanding. I'm trying to hit on you. Oh, I see. 7 out of 10. Huh? I rated your approach. You didn't even introduce yourself. You're right, how careless of me. I'm the one and only Yahiko Ikari. Surely you've heard of me. I highly doubt that. You wouldn't be by any chance happen to be the Yahiko Ikari from Grover Mecker, the present day that Yahiko Ikari? Yahiko just practically doubles in size. Wait, what? Indeed I am. Are you by any chance a fan? The biggest. I really enjoy the political satire, and the music is just amazing. Have we been watching the same show? Did you know that our powder tag is one of the top trending? And Instagram Times has us listed as a viral phenomenon? Viral for what reason? Well, that must be a different story. Congrats, I was sure that it would become a big hit. But of course, even the stars themselves are no match for an Ikari. Or the moon. Oh yeah, guess what my next dream is? Is it build a vacation home on the moon. Yes. A vacation home? I wonder what would happen if you jumped on a trampoline while on the moon. How high would you go? I don't know, but I'm definitely gonna test it. Ahiko and Misaki are new besties apparently, which is nothing short of absolutely terrifying. Meanwhile, I'm being completely ignored. Maybe she doesn't recognize me. Hi, Miki. She tilts her head to my direction, eyes bright. Hi, do I know you? Wait, what? She doesn't remember? I want to think of it. She hasn't spared me a single word, or even a glance. She doesn't... How could she not... It's Yama Ishimoto. He's my minion. I'm sorry, I don't think we've ever met. Oh, you've got to be kidding. Childhood friend, 4 years back, you, me, Rui, we all hung out together. What? Total blankness. She's honestly forgotten. Words start pouring into my mouth as I frantically search for something to get a reaction out of her. We all lived in Seto, small town 3 hours drive away. Yes? No? I'm sorry, I don't think... We all played together, we all were inseparable, we met at the festival, the one with the lanterns. Misaki's expression gradually turned from polite to more and more skeptical. Of all ways I imagined we'd reunite, and this was definitely not at the top of the list. Do you really not remember? I'm really very sorry. This can't be it. Rui and I bawled our eyes out after she left. We hovered over by the phone for hours waiting for a single call. When nothing came, we even resorted to hovering by the mailbox, in the vain hopes to receive some snail mail. Is she saying that during that time, that 1 month, was turned to 6, was turned to a year, was turned to 4 years? She just forgotten us? How could that be possible? Unless, by any chance, you haven't gotten into a tragic car accident and ended up with amnesia, have you? That's why you haven't called not in 4 years. She backs away slowly, eyeing me like an insane psychopath. Okay, this is bad. This is really bad. I wore a kimono. You really don't remember? She stops at that. A flash of recognition catches her eye. Got it. I wore a goodbye kitty kimono and ran around calling you a tooth fairy. You did? On second thought, I really should have talked to her without no one else in the classroom. I was a kid, but you wore a kimono and called her the tooth fairy? Well, yeah, but... About time you admitted it, Yama. I'm struck speechless by the situation as the situation begins to dawn on me. You know who I am? Know you? How could I not? It's only been 4 years. Then you were... faking it, of course. Why were you pretending not to notice me earlier? I knew you recognized me. Well, it's not every day you see an old friend who just decided to disappear one day. She stops that, a flicker of irritation crossing her eyes at my cutting tone. It's not like I wanted to leave Seto, Yama. So why did you? My mother didn't leave me with much of a choice. You mean Satomi? She nods. You couldn't have at least told us you were moving. I couldn't. I wait for an elaboration, but it never comes. That's it? You just couldn't tell us? Why not? Do you mind if we talk about this later, Yama? I'm not very comfortable discussing it in class. I open my mouth to object, but something about Misaki's expression prevents me from pursuing the issue further. She genuinely seems distraught. Wait. Yama wore a goodbye kitty kimono and called Misaki the Tooth Fairy? Luckily, Ahiko managed to change the subject. I decided to play along for the time being. I was a little kid, dang it! I hear excuses, all excuses. It's not an excuse, it's a legitimate explanation. I somehow fell and got my yukata dirty, and it was at the festival, and we weren't very close to home, and Miki had an extra kimono. A goodbye kitty kimono? Yes. So having Ahiko mock me just makes the entire thing 10 times worse. I cast a half-pleading, half-indignant glare at Misaki, who only shrugs in response. It isn't my fault you enjoy cross-dressing. I don't! If only I had powder at the time, I would have taken a photo. Wait, what's this powder you keep mentioning? Judging by the reaction I'm getting, I just committed a huge fox pause. You don't know what powder is? Where have you been living your whole life? Under a rock? Well, technically, that's what my name would imply. What? Is that like the Secret Service database or something? Far more important, it's the most popular social media networking website in today's society. Powder sounds like this could be like Twitter. I really question your priorities. Through Powder, you share posts with 90 characters or less. Yep, it's Twitter. It allows you to spread important news, demonstrate your sport, provide instant feedback to questions, or to blog about your day. Grover Mecha got big because of Hatter. As for me, I like to give updates on the progress of my day. Okay, fine, but does anyone actually care? A sudden deathly chill pervades the room. My second major fox pause of the day, apparently. People care. Are you sure? Because the way I see it, tapping 2 buttons doesn't exactly make you... They care, damn it! Don't say nothing different until you pat yourself. Don't say nothing? Intense? Misaki? Wait, what? But the conversation grinds to a halt and Misaki's phone trills in her hand. She immediately regains her composure. Kazayaha speaking. Yes, understood. I'll be there in 5 minutes. She cuts the call and shoves her phone in her pocket, looking me square in the eye. I must go. Duty calls. Duty? What kind of duty? My employer has a job for me. A job now. What about school? I'm sure they'll excuse this one. Let's talk again later, Yama. Oh, and make sure to bring Rui, okay? Goodbye. Is she the killer? And like a tornado stalking to its next target, she blazes out of the room. I'm left completely dumbfounded with Hiko, who's dancing around the room like he just won his mansion on the moon. I have a fan! I have an actual fan! A real fan! I wonder how long it'll be before I can pledge her to my service as my first true minion. I wordlessly leave him in his fantasy of world domination, head to the cafeteria. It's more a routine than actually feeling hungry. The shock of running into an old friend after 4 years might have something to do with that. Maybe I should be angrier at Misaki, but at the same time, who knows what had happened with her and her mother. She seems pretty uncomfortable talking about it. At least she's here now. I guess that's all that matters. If Misaki wants to tell me, she will on her own time. The cafeteria is broad and beautiful, boasting polished surfaces and tidy, well-lit spaces. Modern furniture settles well on the brushed mahogany floor. Students in pristine uniforms travel to and fro, cooking food from extensive buffet counters around the perimeter of the cafeteria and returning to their friends. I spot Rui in the back of the cafeteria, staring at the skylights with a thoughtful tilt of her head. Actually, this would be a perfect time to tell her about Misaki. Rui would be thrilled to see her again. Hey Rui! She jumps slightly at the sudden sound. And only then do I remember that I'm supposed to be apologizing for being dramatic early yesterday. Except, I've never been great at apologizing, or even good. Or, actually, even mildly passable. Saying, how are you? I'm doing okay, how was class? It was okay, I guess. Oh, okay. We shuffled for a moment, so I finally clear my throat. About yesterday. It's okay, Yama. I know that saying that bus must have brought up some memories. You were just lashing out. But I shouldn't have. No, I guess not. And so next time something like that happens, I reserve the right to slap you silly. And just like that, everything is right between us. And what would I've done to deserve a friend like that? Thanks. But buy me lunch. What? Oh, come on, it's only fair. If I go into debt, I blame you for constantly mooching off of me. Are you ever going to pay for your own food? Probably not. But you can't count those grocery trips, because I ended up cooking everything for you. And yourself. Labor taxes. Let's go already, I'm hungry. But just as she reaches forward and pulls my arm to her side, we hear a very familiar voice from behind us. Well, what do we have here? We jerk around in synchronization and promptly come face to face with Mr. Ryota. Ryo quickly squeaks and jumps away, suddenly bashful. Oh hi, Mr. Ryota. Look at you two, the adorable childhood friends, finally getting together after years of unneeded drama. Bah, I feel sick. What is this, some kind of anime? We're not together. I wouldn't go out with Yama in a million years. It's actually really adorable. I struggle to maintain a straight face. I know. I'm just too good for you. She snaps back into Rui, but the rest of the academy knows her as witty, confident, and a touch malicious. She opens her mouth no doubt to smite you with some comeback or another, but Mr. Ryota breaks us up. Well, if I don't end up barfing my guts out, you guys will get the most adorable wedding. You'll have the most adorable wedding in all history. And there goes Rui. How can you say such a thing like that, Mr. Ryota? You're our teacher, you should know better. Oh, come on, you two look back today, mark my words. With a cheerful wave, he splits to the faculty express lane. Those words sound fairly ominous. I can already imagine all the embarrassing stories he'll liberally share with other wedding guests. He'll probably have so many people rolling on the aisles from laughter that Rui wouldn't even be able to walk properly. What the heck am I even thinking about? Wedding? Rui? Mr. Ryota's being his usual self, I see. Yep. Now you got me thinking about... Nope, not going there. Maybe now would be a good time to switch topic. Alright, even have the perfect material. Hey Rui, you're not gonna believe this, but I saw Mickey today. Rui's face cuts into complete blankness in the space of a millisecond. It is really shocking news. Maybe I should have eased it in a bit. She ended up transferring to the school, and we coincidentally wound up in the same class. Dead silence. I finally start to feel like a prickle of apprehension. We can hang out together again, like, can we? Did you talk to her? Of course, what? Of course, it's Mickey. Really, what's wrong? Aren't you happy? Well, no, I'm not. As far as I'm concerned, she has nothing to do with either of us anymore. Don't you remember? We were kids who held a stupid grudge for something beyond her control. Come on, we're older than that now. Oh, are we? She didn't really apologize, did she? Well, I pause for a moment. Rui's expression immediately darkens. I see that she didn't, and I know why. Because she wasn't there to see you fall apart. I don't think you remember, Yama, but you were in a really bad place after she left. Even to the point where, I mean, you know. But that wasn't because of Misaki. I mean, yeah, but she triggered the whole thing. It's just, when I think about it, I get mad at her, really mad. So it's probably best for her, both her and me, if she stays away. So you're not gonna be friends again? The thought is so baffling that I can't help but stutter. In my mind, we've always been a package deal. Me, Rui, Misaki. It's either all or nothing. I mean, you're your own person, so you should hang out with whoever you want. But I can't be buddy-buddy with Misaki until she realizes what she's done. I never thought Rui of all people would be irrational. How bad had I been, exactly? I never seen Rui so upset, at least not in a really long time. Sorry to be a downer. Why don't we just grab some lunch? How about you go on ahead? I'll talk to Mr. Ryota. Okay. Surprisingly, she doesn't ask me any more questions. She heads to the lunch line without a word. Maybe she also feels rotten inside, like something had been lost forever. I shake these thoughts and immediately locate Mr. Ryota, who's just popped out of the faculty line and, conveniently enough, is heading in my direction. He watches our separation with an eyebrow raised to his hairline. Oh, are the newlyweds already running into trouble? I ignore this. Good timing, Mr. Ryota. I wanted to ask you something. If the question is whether to officially ask you out, the answer is yes. What? No, that's not the question. Aw, really? That's a bit boring. And Ray and Art, you know what? Never mind. I was wondering what it means when you see someone you haven't seen in forever who you thought you disappeared off the planet. It means exactly what you said. Your life actually is a crappy anime. I never said that. Oh, you didn't? Mr. Ryota. Sorry, can't help it. Now who's this person you haven't seen in forever? She just transferred into my class this morning. Yuri, her, me, we were really close when we were little, back in our hometown Seto. Transfer student, childhood friend. Don't even think about it. Too late. My life is not a crappy anime. It's not. You're right, it's a really crappy anime. So what's the problem? Well, I talked with her and I think we'll be friends again, but Rui is jealous? What? No. What is this, junior high? Sorry, I'll shut up. See, when Misaki, that's the transfer student, left, she accidentally triggered a giant depressive state that basically left me in the dumps for a year. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. Rui claims it was bad. Yama, when can you come to my office today? I want to listen properly to you, and the cafeteria is not exactly an ideal environment. Well, I guess that Mr. Ryota got hired for the job for an actual reason. Okay, I'll just jump by after school. Or during, really. Either way works. Not for lunch. You gotta eat before the bell rings. Young, growing boys need all the nutrition they can get. It can't sound wise can't sound like the wise, all-knowing teacher when he just implied he was fine for me ditching school. See you later, Mr. Ryota. He only responds with a casual way before he saunters over to the nearest table, chatting easily with a group of students. I snag a plate of food and search for Rui, but she's nowhere to sight. Guess that conversation took a little longer than I originally intended. I quickly scarf my food down and return to the classroom. Alright, class. Let's take secondary roll before we head to the courtyard. Wait, what? We have more PE? Teacher's halfway through rolling her eyes before she catches herself. I guess it's not a good example to roll your eyes in front of your students. No, Yahiko. Today's career day, as has been announced for the PE for the past 3 days. Afternoon classes are canceled till the third years may explore possible future occupations with specialists. Oh, right. Questions of the future. Writing prompts are dreamed of. Now, career day. I think I'm sensing a pattern here. We're already running a little late, so let's make this quick. Anyone missing? Nope. That prompts us to glance around. I think he's right, man. Everyone's here. Everyone except Misaki, who apparently is at her job. Time to do some not-so-subtle recon. Teacher, what about that girl, the one sitting by the window? Teacher waves her hand dismissively. Special circumstances. Anyone else? Despite myself, I feel a prick of curiosity. Special circumstances? What kind of circumstances could warrant such an offhanded dismissal from the teacher? I thought most teachers loathed making exceptions for mandatory events. Just what could Misaki's job be? As the teacher continues to survey the classroom, I feel a nudge against my arm. I'm surprised you brought it up. What? Usually you wouldn't say anything even if you noticed. You would have thought it too much trouble. Her words are remarkably neutral. It's awkward. It feels like a trap. I think you should stop pretending like you actually know me, or that you have a brain. You're insufferable. She storms to the back of the room in a huff. I'm insufferable? She's done far, far worse, and she's still judging me? What a hypocrite. Alright, looks like everyone else is here. To the courtyard, destiny awaits. There are more than a few rolled eyes, but everyone obediently files out of the classroom. Our class pours to the courtyard, which currently resembles a crowded street market. Columns of booths are set in orderly lines, each attempting to outshine the others, with progressively more outrageous signage and progressively louder music. I wonder if they've got a booth for my future job. Come to think of it, in all the 203 times he's talked about his dream, he's never once mentioned his future job. There's all the things he'll own. Oh, and what might that be? Isn't it obvious? With my stunning looks and all? So, a trash can? Is that even a job? Of course it's a job. Oh, well no. I want to be a model. That's well, wait, it's not as silly as it seems. I mean, seeing how he's just believed that being a trash can was a profession, he can't have a job that requires him to think. Yeah, he also can't have a job that requires social reaction. He just repel people instead of attracting them. Those are his two biggest flaws, and modeling doesn't fit it either. As for looks, I hate to admit it, it's not so bad looking. He'd probably be able to land himself a girlfriend if he could just keep quiet. It almost sounds like a serious plan. Yahiko, my friend, I'm glad you finally realized the cruel truth. Eh? What are you talking about? I'm just saying that it's a good idea, especially coming from you. It isn't it? Once I become famous, the entire world will be able to witness my magnificence. I'll be on TV, the internet, advertising blimps, basically everywhere. A second thought, maybe it's a terrible idea. Well, if you don't mind, I'm off to meet my destiny. And with that, he skips off into the crowd. We can be awkwardly leaning against the wall like some kind of delinquent. I'm not really sure what to do. I'll be wasting my time if I look around, but I'll be wasting my time if I stay here. What a conundrum. You there! I turn to the source of the voice, a man in a medical coat, standing in front of the booth, boasting a holograph sign, Wayward Ford Pharmaceuticals, Hospital Division. Punch. I'm guessing he's a doctor. Are you interested in becoming a doctor? Bodies? Open wounds? Yeah, no. Sorry, I don't think I can deal with the pressure of being a doctor. If that's what you're worried about, then don't worry. I'm a heart surgeon, and I get an entire team of people helping me during the operations. Well, if I have people helping me... What? Scalpel, please. Oh, is this... Nah. What do you mean, nah? I thought I was supposed to do all the cutting this time. That doesn't matter. It sure does. I see what's going on here, man. You want to take all the credit. Well, guess what? That ain't happening. What are you talking about? I'm the doctor here. Doctor, the patient is critical condition. If you don't act fast, he's gonna die. The patient is dying, dang it. Give me the scalpel. Whoa there. Don't be getting your scrubs in a bunch. Doctor, the patient is dead. See? Look what you did. Look what Yeah, I don't think being a doctor is right for me. Are you sure? We got a great internship program. I'm good. Thanks, though. Another nearby booth catches my eye. The multicolored sign claims that it's from the National Education Institute. Behind the booth table, a tall woman in glasses is speaking animally to a small group of students. Don't you feel that we have a duty to equip the next generation? In this society, knowledge is power, and we need to ensure that our successors have the power to move forward. My job is the best and the most beneficial, and there's no downsides whatsoever. Yeah, been there, heard that. Don't your students annoy you or tire you out? Well, I've had some ups and downs in my career, of course. The more difficult students may be perplexing at first, but when you persevere, you'll always end up getting those students back on the right path. Is that so? Teach, what's 5 plus 7? This is high school, Mr. Ikari, not primary school. You should have mastered addition by now. But teach, excuse me, Mr. Kurogane, smoking is not permitted on campus. Hand those over. You ain't the boss of me, kid. Kid, I'm your teacher. You're shorter than me, kid. And that makes you a kid. Alright, that's it. You're staying after class. You've got detention to serve. Says who? Says you? You couldn't even take on a diseased chicken with one claw tied behind his tail. Why can't you be that eloquent on your essays? Teacher? What? What's wrong? Why are you crying? Again? What for? Oh, you're angry at me. I'm sorry. I'm so terrible. I can't. Hey, don't cry. Yeah, I don't think I have enough patience to deal with students. I meandered down the road of the booth, apathetically peering at any that seemed mildly entertaining. One man with a remarkably bushy mustache raises his fist in the air, yelling at the top of his lungs. Do you love Japan? Join the Japanese Self-Defense Force today! Wow, I thought those kinds of die-hard patriots only existed on TV. Any man who's able to follow orders can be a hero of Japan. If you're still alive. Grenade! Cover it, soldier! What? We could just run away. Jump on the grenade or I'll have you court-martialed for insubordination. But I'll die! All the better. Hop on it. Yeah, not happening. I turn away from the booth. Everything I see is equally unpromising. Do you give an act of cooking? Why not apply for Leiden Culinary School? Gather here, engineers, mathematicians, fellow countrymen. The biggest digital corporation in the world, Lemniscape, has positions open for you. If you always wanted to help the hurting, join the Columbus Therapy Center and transform the world, one life at a time. A quick glance in the other directions reveals that I seem to be the only one having trouble. I find Elizabeth in deep conversation with a police officer, just a few feet away. Wouldn't have thought her to be the type. Maybe she's sucking up to them so they'll let her off for corporate fraud. Meh, I can't really judge her. At least she found something that she's interested in. On the other hand, well, I have nothing. What's up? Can't find your life calling? What? I turned to Snorkel's voice. A staggering man slants against a rickety, foldy chair. A worn beanie plopped on his head and the thoroughbred trench coat thrown over his shoulders. There's no sign of his booth. Is hobo a legitimate career? Ha, youngsters these days. You hold your own future in your own hands and you don't even know what to do with it. You're lucky, you know. There was a time when people didn't have the luxury of choosing their careers. Upon second glance, I noticed that there's several rolling racks of books settled in the back of the booth. There doesn't seem to be anything rhyme or reason to the genre: science fiction, mystery, fantasy, young adult. They're all under the same name. Are you a writer? He smiles when I ask him this. What? Surprise? You think I was an adventurer? Globetrotter? Homeless guy, actually. He throws back his head and laughs. You got life. I can't wait to read your stories. Somehow, I don't think that being a writer would fit me. Oh, somebody help me. Whatever shall I do? Fear not, generic damsel in distress. I'm the hero. I lost the previous battle, so this is a heroic rematch where I'm guaranteed to win. How fortunate. After you win the final battle, I shall bestow you with an obligatory smooch of victory. Hey, you can't just ignore the villain. I got you, Guroyama. Oh, spare us with your evil gloating. It only leads to your downfall. But I gotta give a motive rant so that we understand your identity as a tragic villain. Nah, I'll just put that as a footnote. Okay, I tell you this needless banter. I've actually written the princess backstory so that she's a badass in distress. What? But you didn't even foreshadow that. Too bad. I need to move this plot forward. Hiya! No! Yeah, I don't think I come with the original material. That's why you just rip off for your life, you know? Thanks, but no thanks. He shrugs hypothetically as I walk away. A nearby smoke group of students catches my eye. We gather in front of a man in a long, white, sweeping lab coat. Although his voice is placid, there lies an undercurrent of power in every word he says. Life is fragile thing. Life is a fragile thing. There's an unspeakable number of ways for the human body to fail, even more for it to be broken. Death was accepted as an inevitable part of life, a natural stage in the cycle of this world. But it doesn't have to be that way. The man in the lab coat straightens as the students break into hurried whispers. Through research, we can create medicine that fights disease and treats disorders, extending our lives exponentially, maybe indefinitely. Ah, so he's a medical researcher. He fixes gaze on each individual in the crowd, not in a hostile manner, but certainly in an unnerving one. A day may come when we can defy death. His eyes land on me. The intelligent arc of his eyebrow and commanding line of his jaw shifts slightly as he examines me. I feel frozen beneath his piercing gaze. It isn't exactly uncomfortable, just strange. Eventually he turns away, adjusting his golden glasses that are settled on the bridge of his nose. If you seek to make a lasting influence on the world, join us at Way 4 Pharmaceuticals in the research division. Together we can accomplish the impossible and prevent the inevitable. The crowd of students breaks into applause. Their faces are gap in wonder. They can only scoff. No one can defy death. Anyone who thinks otherwise is just delusional. As I turn away from the Way Forward booth, the PA hums to life. They showed that character, so he must be important for something. Attention students, Mayor Inori will be speaking at the center stage in 5 minutes. The students around me gasp audibly, breaking into frantic whispers. Mayor Inori? Here? In person? Our school's important, you know. Why wouldn't he come? Come on, let's get a good spot. I follow the massive throng of students gathering around the courtyard center stage. Sure enough, Masuru Inori, the ever-popular mayor of Isamu, is in the flesh. He gives the students a cordial wave from behind the impenetrable line of security guards. You know, back in my day, when dinosaurs roamed the earth, this extracts a laugh from the crowd. We always ditched career day. We'd pop over to GFC, you know, you've seen it before it was renovated, and stuff ourselves on wings. They were only double S's at the time. Shows you how far we've come as a society, eh? The crowd chuckles again. Among them I catch a distinct tint of Elizabeth's giggle. As usual, she's eagerly jotting notes on her phone, hanging on the mayor's every word. The brunette girl who's always around Elizabeth is also next to her. Surprisingly, she seems equally engrossed in the speech. And yes, I hated career day. I thought it was a waste of time. I thought they were restraining me at a time when all I wanted to do was explore myself, who I was, who I wanted to be. But later I realized that I was thinking about career day in the completely wrong way. It wasn't about deciding my future. It was about exploring possibilities. He allowed a moment of thoughtful silence before he continues. The truth is, you'll probably change careers multiple times in your life. In fact, the average number of job changes is estimated to be 15 times. You could be in med school all your life, but have experience in construction, woodworking, design, architecture, statistics, engineering, even ostrich babysitting or bicycle fishing. Elizabeth smiles into her hand as the students laugh like a perfectly timed trap. But as vast as the future is, you know what you don't want to do. You don't want to be hurt. You don't want each day full of insecurities, doubts, fears. You don't want to be lied to or backstabbed or treated like a fake. I won't lie to you, it's a nasty world out there. But I think we can all agree that, regardless of who we are or where we're from, we each have an important part to play in the safety of this country. So go on, explore. You guys are bright. And hey, you guys are in a better spot than I was. I thought I'd like nothing more than to become an anthropologist. Not that I even knew what that meant at the time. It just sounded cool. His parting sense elicited another laugh as he steps up the stage, offering a final wave. The students erupt in cheers and response. I quickly shuffle away from the crowd before the noise overwhelms me. I don't want to like this guy. Heck, I don't even want to like any politician. But he seems to be less evil than the others I've seen. Less evil. Furthermore, he made a good speech. He came across intelligent, but genuine. Two major opposites of politics. Maybe I'll vote in his re-election. Maybe. Hello, stranger. Oh? Hey, Mickey. I abruptly stopped in my tracks, finally taking in what she's wearing. Well, you're dressed up. Which is putting it lightly. She's draped in a silken kimono that ripples around her figure like water. Her hair is set with a minimalistic ribbon and a crystal pin. She could own the red carpet or throne even with that outfit. Pretty, my mind supplies unhelpfully. Look like a grind that part of my mind to dust. Is that all you have to say? Well, what were you expecting? Poetry? Oh dearest, you liken yourself to the starlight with eyes like the moon and the mouth like the purest golden flame the sun's ever did see. She promptly slaps me on the back. Very funny, Shakespeare, too. Although, I'm impressed. Your recitation was pretty decent. I feel like she's insulting me, but she genuinely seems shocked. So what brings you here? Do you want to become a model? A what? Oh, no need to be embarrassed. Male models are hardly anything new. However, they do tend to be physically fit. Do you happen to have a six-pack? I'll pretend I heard none of that. What makes you think I'd ever want to be a model? You're standing by my company's booth. We are a modeling company. Surprised, I cast a quick glance behind her. Sure enough, a large banner reads Lotus Modeling, above a tent with striking photo spreads. Hence the kimono, I presume. You assume correctly. So where's Rui? Haven't seen her all day. That awkward moment when, oh really, that's funny. She attends to school, right? What, of course she does. So you've seen her today? Well, yeah. You didn't tell her about me. Well, hello, social drama. I missed you. Not. How can I word this delicately, or better yet, avoid it completely? You should probably be getting back to your job. I have my eye on you, Yama. You really think I can't tell when you're lying? I believe in my ability to run away. Always the same, I see. I've made a mental note to harass you about it later. Until then, Yama. She floats back to her booth, greeting any curious glances with an effortless smile. A model. Her job is modeling. Somehow I find this a little underwhelming. I expect her to be the killer. I almost expect her to be involved in something drastic, like the Secret Service, or the film industry, or even the Olympics. But modeling, where you pose and change and smile for hours and hours, adventures, stubborn Mickey, it doesn't seem to fit her. Wherever. I guess it's none of my business anyway. It's time to see Mr. Royota. This time he opens the door as soon as I knock. I must have caught him at a good time. Welcome, Ishimoto. We've been expecting you. He cackles manically as he taps his fingers together. You should have turned in your chair while stroking a cat. Bah, everyone's a critic. Would you have rather been left standing outside in the cold? Outside? I'm in the hallway. You seem awfully eager to prove your mentor wrong, boy. Well, whether I prove it or not, it's still wrong, right? Ah, yes, but that would never fly in a court of law, you see. Imagine it. I declare the defendant guilty because, from a metaphorical standpoint, it is true, even if we have no specific medical link of knowing so. I just lost you. I get that a lot. Go ahead and take a seat. We've got more important things to discuss, no? Instantly, I slide into the nearest couch. I've always seen Mr. Ryota as an intelligent man, even if laid back, but I never actually will not understand him. Wonder how much brain mass he's hiding behind that cheery facade. So, the new transfer student, Misaki Kazayaha. I hope you don't mind. I did a little look up on her. You can do that? Well, there's no explicit rule saying I can't use a confidential databases. I'm pretty sure that there is. Nope. I may be faculty, but I'm not a teacher. It's only stated that teachers have to request special permission. I checked the loopholes. Something feels wrong about this. When did you find out? Well, if I tell you, then that's a solid breach in confidentiality. I don't want to go to jail yet. Food's too good here. Mr. Ryota, I really worry about you sometimes. And this is me talking. So instead, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the matter, Yama. How did you two meet? And you mentioned that she left? Yeah. I close my eyes, letting the ever-constant hum of the air conditioner calm my nerves. Then I start talking. It's practically subconscious. My mouth dutifully repeats the train of thought running through my mind. Everything is calm, clear, slow. Therapy. Something that I've gotten used to over the years. So I easily turn my brain to the topic of interest. Misaki Kazehaya. I met her when I was young. Not too young, a baby still forming thought patterns and ideas about the world, but young enough to be highly impressionable. It had been on a day when I thought nothing could make me smile. Not the vibrant lanterns strewn between the roofs of multicolored booths, not the festive rhythm of the taiko drummers urging to the parade of light-bearing dancers, not the stands in which a variety of nutritionally questionable foods were being served. Not even Rui. Rui, who dragged me out of the house despite my best efforts to stay miserable. It was only around an hour into the festival, but I was ready to go when Rui went to the bathroom. I seriously considered ditching her and going back to my room. Apparently, I was scowling deeply at that. I didn't know it until I passed a girl suddenly stopped in front of me. Annoying. Does your face always look like that? To say the least, that didn't help my foul mood. I glared up at her. She was pretty. Well, that was the first thing in my head, thought in my head. That instinctive spark of appreciation whenever a guy sees a pretty girl, no matter how much he wants to feel otherwise. Her hair was braided back into an elegant half up-down, light ebony curls framing her porcelain face, big eyes, long eyelashes, pointed chin, the kind of traditional beauty you might see in a kimono commercial. Of course, the first spark of interest was immediately overridden by indignance that only an 8-year-old boy could feel. What are you looking at? Don't look so grumpy. Grumpy, you should be celebrating. She didn't know anything, of course, not until a few months later. Festivals are stupid. They are not. Why? There isn't even a reason to celebrate. The girl face twisted into something resembling anger. It looked strange on her face, like a guinea pig attempting to seem menacing. You don't even know what the festival's about, do you? Well, of course I didn't. But I wasn't about to admit that. Of course I do. Oh yeah? What's it about? Well, you make lanterns. Uh-huh, and... I fisted my hands at her condescending tone. You write wishes on them and stuff. Wrong. I am not. Yeah, you are. You don't write wishes, you write what you want to tell dead people. Ridiculous, I should have said. Why would I even want to talk to dead people? But I didn't mock it. I couldn't mock it. Dead people? Yep, I can write a message to Auntie on this lantern and she'd see it. How do you know that? Haven't you heard of this story? No, I hadn't. My 8-year-old pride prevented me from saying that, of course. Thankfully, the girl took my silence as confusion. Well, once upon a time, there was a princess. Was she pretty? Yeah. Good at singing? Yeah. Boring. It is not boring. The indignant anger on her face made me snicker. The first time I smiled all day. Yeah, well, what happens? Does she get in trouble and a charming prince has to save her? Just listen. Look, she's actually a big meanie. A mean princess. Well, that wasn't a fairy tale staple. Oh? Yep, but her bodyguard was in love with her and turned her good again. I felt disappointed. The story had a promising start. Blah, what are you, cast a spell, give a true love's kiss? He died. Oh? Don't look so happy. That time I broke into a tiny laugh. But I made her good again, right? Well, yeah, but she didn't trust anyone before. Thought they would all fake and stuff. And it seemed like she was glaring at me to the point of the story. But before I could open my mouth, she was already continuing. Anyway, the bodyguard sacrificed himself to save her life, so the heavens were super duper impressed and put him in the stars. Aren't stars all really hot? That sounds like a bad thing. Child's invitation flickered across her face. They made him into a constellation, you poop. Bleh. Bleh times infinity. Bleh times infinity plus. Anyway, the princess realized how beautiful love really is. Because he died, she saw how much he loved her, so she decided to be a better person and trust people again. This had nothing to do with writing a message to the dead lanterns. I was rapidly losing interest. Let me guess, she lived happily ever after. Well, no, the bodyguard died, remember? I like this bodyguard. She glared at me, but somehow it feels less severe than before. She wrote her promise on a lantern and sent it up to the sky so you'd see it, because he was a constellation, remember? Now I realize that I could have said a lot of things. That's stupid, he's dead. What could he do about it? But that wasn't on my mind at the time. Everyone turns into a bunch of stars when they die? I think? You think or you know? If they did something super duper to impress the heavens, I guess. I smiled at that. My eyes scoured the streets and landed on a simple booth. A handful of other kids were gathered around a short portable table, scrawling on lanterns with calligraphy pens clamped in fisted hands. Let's go. But I've already made a lantern. Write on another dead person then. With this overwhelming display of tact and political correctness, I raced towards the table, snatched the lantern from a smiling adult, and plopped down my pen in hand, ready. Who are you writing to? None of your beeswax. I began to scrawl characters on my lantern. The girl hovered on my shoulder, squinting judiciously at my jagged brushstrokes. Why is your handwriting so messy? It is not messy. Humph, I can't even read it. I whipped around, narrowing my eyes accusingly at her own lantern. Well, yours searched for a fault, but not only was her lantern graced with perfect calligraphy, it also proudly bore a few elegant cherry blossoms. While yours looks girly, she raised a single eyebrow. It was a remarkably sophisticated expression for a 9-year-old girl to make. I am a girl. And there was nothing much to say there. Yama, where have you been? It was Ryu. The materials out of thin air. I hadn't even noticed the rapid pitter-patter of her footsteps. Sorry, Rui. Jeez, could have told me. You were in the bathroom. Humph. Clearly displeased, Rui turned her back to me, but smiled at the other girl. Thanks for taking care of him. Surprisingly, the girl smiled back. Easy as you please. Well, weren't they gonna get along just fine? Why did they have to give me such a hard time? Maybe it was a girl thing. I'm Rui. I'm Misaki. You gonna make a lantern? Yep, how do you make those flowers? They're really pretty. I can show you. And just like that, the two of them were friends. It took a little longer to warm up to me. For me to warm up. But whatever the two of them set their minds to, they accomplished. They have always been that way. So fiery, so capable, so lovely. Two playful angels who, for some reason unfathomable to mankind, saw fit to hang around a bucket of depressing sludge like me. Why do you think that about yourself? Mr. Yoda's voice seems to come from far in the distance, faint but recognizable. I respond distractedly. You know me, I'm not useful, or popular, or particularly intelligent. Silence follows. That statement will only continue. I better save. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!